Yo, what's up, family? Before we start the video, please leave a like, subscribe, and share to any and everyone that you can. Just bring it out there a little bit more. With that being said, let's get right into the video. The Boston Celtics took a commanding 3-0 series lead last night, winning a 114-111 thriller in Indiana against the Pacers. The Celtics defense became serious in the second half, and it made all the difference. So let's get into the film. All right, how y'all doing? I hope y'all doing good. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not, make sure you take your shoes off before you come in the house. And in the first half, things were pretty bad defensively for the Celtics. The Pacers were just scoring at will, specifically in the paint, and every dribble drive seemed to work. In the first half, the Pacers scored 69 points. They were 28 for 44 from the field, which is 64%. They had 26 points in the paint in the first quarter, which is most in the last 25 years for a single quarter. They were only 3 for 8 from 3. They did not have to take a lot of threes. The Celtics were not running them off that line, and again, the dribble drive was just, it was working every time. They were 10 for 10 from the free throw line. They had 20 assists. Andrew Nembhard had 21 points and 5 assists. Siakam and Miles Turner had 15 points each, and TJ McConnell had 12 points, 5 assists, and 4 rebounds. And then we get to the second half, and you see the time on the clock. You're probably asking, hey, why are we starting so late in the third quarter? Well, the overall second half was fine, but the first 6 minutes of the third quarter were not. Through the first 6 minutes of the third quarter, the Pacers had 15 points and were 7 for 10 from the field, and they got up by 18 points, which was 84-66. This was the first possession. Now, it was some good defensive possessions, but the Pacers still scored. But there was just still a lot more of the same that was happening in the first half in these first 6 minutes. But then O'Shea Brissett kind of checked in. Things looked different a little bit. I think he gave Drew a little bit of rest. Again, Drew was reported to be sick before this game, so maybe at some points he just needed some breathers. But this is where it all started as far as like the blocks and the Celtics turning their defense into offense. Here we got the Jaylen Brown blocking Aaron Nesmith 3, and he goes down for the transition bucket. So yeah, those first 6 minutes were bad, but just some total second half stats just to show the difference in the defensive effort from the Boston Celtics. The Pacers scored 42 points in the second half, 21 in each quarter, split perfectly down the middle, 18 for 47 from the field, 38%. They were 2 for 14 from 3, 14%. The Celtics made them shoot more threes. The dribble drives were not going as easy as they did in the first half. They only shot 4 free throws. They did make all 4. Only 12 assists compared to 20 in the first half. Andrew Nembhard, who had 21 in that first half, had 11 points on 11 shots. And then I said that Siakam and Turner both had 15 in the first half. They both had 7 points in the second half. So the Celtics really shut down that in-between game. They shut down those switches, and it just fought a lot harder. And in the second half, the Celtics had 9 blocks. So here, you just have almost perfect defense from the Celtics. Again, we got a pick and roll with TJ McConnell and Isaiah Jackson. Again, just knowing your personnel, right? If there's a pick and roll TJ McConnell, you preferably want to go under. That's what O'Shea Brissett did. We got the switch here by Al Horford. He switches perfectly. We got another pick and roll. They switched that. And then we saw this all game. It was Turner, Siakam, and it was even Isaiah Jackson. If he had a smaller guy on him, the Pacers were giving the ball to their guy, and he was going to work. But here, O'Shea Brissett fights. He gets in front of him for a little bit. TJ McConnell drives. Jaylen Brown with a great deter to the drive and a great contest. And now the Pacers are scrambling. Tatum switches on to McConnell. He makes actually a very nice pass, but Derek White blocks a Shepard 3. And on 4 straight possessions, the Celtics had blocks. That was kind of crazy to see. And here, again, just knowing the personnel, TJ McConnell carved you up all game. He was the only person who kept up his effort from the first half. I think he had 21 points for the entire night, but he had 12 points in the second half. He was their leading scorer because he still was able to get to his spots, but it was just so much harder. So here, O'Shea Brissett, knowing that that 3 ball is not something that's supposed to be hurting you, right? The screen navigation is important, is that he's not going up to the 3-point line. He's not going over this screen right here. Just staying calm, going under. And of course, it's tricky to keep going under on McConnell because you're giving him space to attack you, and he always attacks that space, right? But here, O'Shea Brissett does a nice job. He jumps on the move by TJ McConnell, but the second jump and the athleticism by O'Shea Brissett gets the block. The Pacers just happen to score on this one. And something that really impressed me in the second half was the Celtics transition defense. It could have been them stopping the ball before it got to a point in the paint, or just them doing great stuff like this. Again, 4 straight possessions of blocks. This was won by Al Horford. All right, so this may have been a turning point in this game. If not, it was a really, really important time. So about 20 seconds before this, I believe 3:55 in the third quarter, the score was 86-72. Xavier Tillman and Drew Holiday check back into the game, and it's Tillman is at the 5. It's Drew, Derek White, Jaylen Brown, Tatum, and Xavier Tillman. And then a possession after that, Peyton Pritchard comes in for Jaylen Brown. So I guess it was just a give him a run because he had been playing this entire third quarter until this point, right? We got Drew pressuring TJ McConnell just a little bit, right? He passes it to Obi Toppin. They do a little flare action. You see TJ McConnell kiss the ball, and this Tillman at the 5 lineup is the best we're going to get as far as switching everything. Tillman was a plus 12 in this game, a team high, and specifically a plus 10 in the second half because, you know, his first stint, he was played at the 4. Again, you're not going to get the full impact of Xavier Tillman if he's playing at the 4. And again, perfect game plan discipline by Drew Holiday going under every TJ McConnell screen. If he steps into this confidently, we're just going to have to die by it. It is what it is. So he forced him to pass the ball. Again, great defense by Tillman, jumping at the mouse on the shot, but not jumping into his airspace. He passed it off, and watch Derek White here. This is really important. Again, in the first half, they killed us on those switches with Pascal Siakam and Miles Turner and that in-between game. Watch how Derek White fights. Look, this is perfect post-up position for Pascal Siakam. Watch how Derek White fights. Gets him all the way out to above the free throw line. Now, Siakam has to take a tough shot over Derek White. And something I loved about Xavier Tillman's stint and something he was able to do for this unit was in the pick and roll, he was able to show his body to the handler, and then he was able to play in between the handler and the roller to prevent that pass. So here we got an Obi Toppin, Miles Turner pick and roll. He's showing himself to Obi Toppin, right? So he does not drive, and then he gets back to turn his body really quickly. Then we got some great defense by Derek White going to drive, and he forces a turnover. And I posted this on Twitter, but this sequence from Tatum is just incredible. So here we got Derek White challenging Siakam at the rim. He passes out, makes a good pass to Ben Shepherd, who I don't think has hit a 3 in this series, but he's usually a good shooter. But Tatum here, Siakam gets the offensive rebound. One block by Tatum, right? He had so many impactful defensive plays in this second half and in clutch moments. Again, here we go with TJ McConnell driving. They get the Celtics into rotation, which is what they want to do. Xavier Tillman helps, which leaves a 2-on-1 with Turner and Siakam on Tatum. Turner does not pass it. Tatum bats the ball down right there. He had about 2 or 3 of these strip steals late in this game, in the late third quarter and the fourth quarter, and then a good pass by Derek White, and he gets fouled. This video is brought to you by PrizePicks. PrizePicks is America's #1 fantasy sports app with more than 3 million members. It is the easiest and most exciting way to get in on the action while you watch your favorite sports and players. You just pick more or less on 2 or more player stats and watch the winners roll in. Download the app today and use the code CLNS for a first deposit match up to $100. PrizePicks is the best way to get action on sports in more than 30 states across the country, including California, Texas, and Georgia. PrizePicks even offers injury insurance so that your entries stay in play even if one of your players gets injured. For basketball games, if you have a player who exits the game in the first half and does not return in the second, PrizePicks will have your back and not count that as a loss. Personally, I've been using PrizePicks for about 2 years and I've won a pretty penny in that span. I only do NBA and NFL, but you guys are probably more versatile than I am. Once again, download the app today and use the code CLNS for a first deposit match up to $100. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy. And then after the free throw, Joe Mazzulla goes to some press. We got Peyton Pritchard, Andrew Holiday, our best full court defenders pressing. And then the ball gets into the corner. This is the worst place to be as a point guard against a press. Is in the corner right here. The middle of the court, but TJ McConnell does a nice job stepping through it. But on this possession, that does take TJ McConnell out of the play because Obi Toppin just goes straight to the rim and he gets stripped again. And again, transition defense. You see Drew Holiday, he got the gooseneck up. That means he just shot a 3, but he missed it, right? And the Pacers off and running. Watch how Drew Holiday stops his ball. Boom. I don't know if this is a foul, but that's playoff basketball. We ain't calling that shit, right? So he stops Pascal Siakam dead in his tracks, bro. Stops him dead in his tracks. And that forces some indecision from Pascal Siakam on who he's going to pass it to. This turnover from Obi Toppin was not his fault, but he throws it away trying to save it. And this is exactly what I was talking about as far as Xavier Tillman showing himself to the handler, the turn to drive, and then getting back to the roll man. So here we got a cut by Ben Shepherd, nicely played by Sam Hauser. So the Pacers are going to go to Spain PNR here. They did this a lot in this game. The Celtics also, they run this a lot. Again, Spain PNR is when a back screen is set on the ball screener's man in a pick and roll. So here you're going to see Ben Shepherd attempt to back screen Xavier Tillman, who again is a ball screener's man, who is Miles Turner. So here you see he's going to attempt to do it, but Xavier Tillman just kind of runs over it, and Sam Hauser also is pushing Shepherd away from it, which is a good job by Sam. So here we got Xavier Tillman, right? The pick and roll. He sees what's happening, right? So he's hanging with Nembhard, and then he gets back to Miles Turner, and just putting a body on Turner and making him do this move allows the time for Derek White to come in and block the shot. All right, so here we got Andrew Nembhard driving again, contested dribble penetration by Derek White, does a nice job to turn the drive. Tillman helps a little bit, but then he's able to get back and contest on the Miles Turner three. All right, so here again we got Derek White playing pretty good defense on Andrew Nembhard. He's gonna pass it. The Pacers are gonna go to blind pick action, and then they're gonna go back to the Spain pin. Our look, you got Siakam actually screening Xavier Tillman this time, but again, watch Xavier Tillman as he's backpedaling. He's gonna feel Miles Turner just to see where he's at, put his hand on him, and then again we got Derek White playing pretty solid defense on Andrew Nembhard. He gets an open look. He does create space eventually for the open look, but you can just tell the Celtics defense is just different. And Xavier Tillman boxing out Miles Turner. Offensive rebounds were a huge thing for the Pacers in this game. Now right there. All right, so here we got some good player and ball movement by the Indiana Pacers, but the Celtics just switch off and hand off these guys just perfectly in this possession. And here, Tatum not giving up this switch with Andrew Nembhard on Al Horford late in the shot clock, right? Everything else was a perfect switch. We got switch there, but just not letting Al Horford get switched on to Andrew Nembhard there. He probably could have attacked that. They probably would have got a good shot off, but Tatum does not allow the switch, and he contests a three, and he misses. We got Jaylen Brown on Pascal Siakam. Jaylen Brown is a really strong guy, so Siakam is going to have to do a lot of back down moves to get him to where he wants to be. But post position is really important. You see where Siakam is now, right? On the repost, he gets it a little bit further out. So now Jaylen Brown has him. He shoots a contested jumper, and he misses. And then again, another stop in transition. Look at our 37-year-old Dominican grandfather haul ass into Obi Toppin, and he forces a wild layup attempt. All right, so here we got TJ McConnell pick and roll with Pascal Siakam. He's going to get the screen, and again, they let Al Horford switch on to TJ McConnell, and good game plan discipline by Al Horford, not stepping towards TJ McConnell, staying right like in that free throw line area, and as TJ drives, he gets a nice contest on the shot that TJ was hitting all night. All right, so this was just an incredible possession by the Celtics, and especially Jrue Holiday. So we got Siakam trying to create the switch on Derek White. He does. Derek White goes back there, and they're going to try to get the ball to Siakam in the post. And watch what Jrue Holiday does. Again, if you're guarding TJ McConnell off the ball, you have a period of time where you can be sort of a free safety, right? And him guarding TJ McConnell and Pascal Siakam having the ball in this possession starts his free safety reign on this possession. So here, again, he's going to double team Pascal Siakam, and he's going to switch on the Pascal because he's just a stronger post defender. Now, Siakam doesn't really want that smoke right now, so he's going to pass it off. And then you're going to see Jrue Holiday come back out of nowhere, deters this Andrew Nembhard drive. He sees Jrue Holiday and does a step back move, passes to the corner TJ McConnell. He pump fakes, and who's in the driving lane? Jrue Holiday. So what does he do? Pass the ball right to Miles Turner. He has to shoot a desperation shot at the end of the clock. All right, so here we are very late in this game. 1 minute left for the Pacers, and in the final 2 minutes of this game, the Indiana Pacers did not make a field goal. So the Celtics really clutched up on the defense side of the ball. And here we got Jaylen Brown switched on the Pascal Siakam, and he gets his hand in the passing lane. And this whole diversion here, the situation took 5 seconds off the shot clock. So now it was Siakam about to catch the ball with 10 seconds left. And then you see Andrew Nembhard's going to get the ball back beyond half court with 5 seconds left. So now the Pacers are in full-time rush mode. You got Tatum here doing a nice job, showing like he's gonna check Andrew Nembhard, and then he gets back to Pascal Siakam and watches the help side defense by Derek White. A great contest by him. I think he had 3 or 4 blocks in the second half, and that was a great contest. And now for the most memorable play of this game, the Jrue Holiday play. Tatum got an open runway, man. You got to dunk on Siakam. You got to go strong, dunk on this man, but Tatum had an insane game, or you got Jrue Holiday in the corner, but either way, Tatum has to go stronger than that. Again, transition defense, stopping the ball. Jrue Holiday stops the ball there, kind of slips, but then again, the anticipate. Oh my God, he is touching earth. He is on the ground right now, and Jrue Holiday still has the cat-like quickness to meet Nembhard at that spot, get the steal, and secure the game for us. But that is the video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like, subscribe, and share to any and everyone that you can. Just so we get out there a little bit more, and I will see you guys in the next video. But this is Nick. Peace.